Good morning. Welcome to the program, your program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, thanking you for joining us this Monday morning, 19th of June, 2023. And in case you've noticed that we are very much in the greenery, well, that's because we are in Lipa City, Batangas. Okay. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you for to all our Cignal TV subscribers. Maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na pagtangkilik and enjoyment of Cignal TV. And of course, thank you to our followers on Facebook and YouTube and those who watch us via the Cignal Play app. And syempre naman, because we are here in the province, we appreciate the support of PLDT Home Fiber Optic Internet, without which we would not be able to do this show here in the farm. Okay, so today we are going to have an interesting, certainly educational discussion related to banks. And of course, we will also try to find out or get answers for bank-related problems of our viewers. But we will be talking about sustainability in banking, and that will follow after we do the usual daily starter and our scanning through the front page of the Philippine Star. So let's begin. And today, our daily starter, goes. Don't complain about what you didn't get for the work you did not put in. Don't complain. Do not complain about what you didn't get for the work you didn't put in. Okay, so that is addressed to our to the people who have a tendency to complain about many things, and pasensya na po, no? There are some people who complain about the roads, about the government services, about this, about that. But when you ask them, nagbabayad ka ba ng buwis mo? Do you pay taxes? Okay, so don't complain if you are not a taxpayer. Yes, you are a citizen, and every citizen is entitled to services. But, some of those who are the loudest to complain are either not paying taxes or are not part of the solution. So, like in a company, if you didn't participate, or in the sports, if you didn't participate, you didn't chip in, you didn't engage yourself in the sacrifice or the hard work, huwag kang mag-complain kung wala kang medal. Okay? That is our daily starter for today. Let's now go to the front page of the Philippine Star, June 19, 2023, Monday. And the headline is something that will have you worried. Okay. Water levels. Okay. Water levels in 6 dams drop. Bumaba. Hindi naman po bumagsak. Bumaba lang. Okay. The water level of Angat Dam and 5 other dams in Luzon continued to drop despite rains experienced last week in many areas in the country, according to the latest data from the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA. Okay, so ayan po, no? Bumaba ng konti, okay, ang level ng mga tubig sa iba't ibang dams sa Pilipinas in spite of the water. Now, in contrast to the headline, we have that huge photo on the front page of the Philippine Star. It is a photo, okay, of the MV Esperanza. MV Esperanza, a ferry boat that traverses the waters of Panglao in Bohol province. And yun po, it caught fire. And apparently, yesterday, it caught fire. And fortunately, thank God, 120 people rescued as ferry catches fire off Bohol. So from the looks of it, they managed that crisis well. But the question is, and I will probably have to ask our executive producer, Gab Malyari, let's line up the people behind the ferry boats and shipping. Nadadala siya tayong mga sunog at lubugan na yan. Okay, at the top of the front page, the header, Mayon's lava fronts may breach. Okay, may breach no man's land. Okay, the lava flow which of Mayon volcano, which historically has not gone beyond the 6-kilometer danger zone. If it continues, the fear of the FIVOX authority is that if it continues to spew lava at the rate that it's doing, it may go beyond the 6-kilometer danger zone set by the national authority. So please, for our friends, mga nanonood po dyan sa area na yan, konting preparasyon, we never know what Mother Nature or my own volcano will end up doing. Okay. Now, from bad news to good news, Carlos Yulo, okay, Carlos Yulo scores triple kill in Asian tilt. Okay, gymnast Carlos Yulo came through with a powerful final day push at the OCBC Arena in Singapore, punctuating a best performance in the Asian Artistic Gymnastic Championship. So madaling sabi, tatlong gold medal si Carlos Yulo, which was a better outcome than the year before, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Concepcion backs BBM decision to stay as Department of Agriculture Chief. Okay. Go Negosyo founder Joey Concepcion expressed support for President Marcos' decision to remain as Agriculture Secretary until the required structural reforms are instituted to make the sector more efficient and competitive. Okay, so in other words, teammates sila. Okay. Meanwhile, in relation to agriculture, retail prices, presyo ng mga gulay, retail prices of vegetables up by 20 pesos per kilo. Okay. Once again, with feeling, retail prices of vegetables tumaas na naman by 20 pesos per kilo because of the rains experienced in many areas in the country last week. Okay, it is hope that since there are no forecasted weather disturbances in the coming week or 2 weeks, these prices will soon go down to their usual prices. Pero in short, okay, your vegetable is now 20 pesos more expensive. Meanwhile, Marcos says Filipinos want livelihood, not dole out. Okay, President Marcos has vowed to sustain his administration's livelihood program, citing the Filipino mentality, which he said is not reliant on dole outs. Okay. Here is a story of concern. Maute-linked terrorist group regrouping, probe sought. Okay. there is serious concern that was expressed by Senator Ronald De La Rosa regarding reports, fears that the Maute group, the terrorist Maute group that was behind the siege of Marawi City in 2017 is regrouping. Okay. Now, there is also a issue before the Senate related to these matters where they are discussing the relocation of select refugee immigrants from Afghanistan to reside in the Philippines. Nako po, I think that is another serious issue to be tackled, and it is now a cause of concern in the Philippine Senate because even Filipino Muslims are worried, not because there might be sleeper cells, according to the news report, but because those who immigrate to the Philippines may draw terrorist attacks. Okay. Now, bottom of the front page, you have a photo of those personalities who participated in the art and fashion in Mega Independence Ball. Okay, Mega Magazine held its Independence Day Ball fusing art and fashion with Sheila Romero as art patron and head of I Want to Share Foundation. Ayun po. Okay. Meanwhile, photo to the right, okay, also of personalities, but this one, very touching, okay? Janitress, 42 years old, finishes kindergarten, okay, kindergarten, okay? In a photo provided by the Tuguegarao Public Information Office, Remilin Dimla, 42, is in her school uniform with her teachers at the Tuguegarao East Central School in Cagayan. Remilin is a janitress, and school officials noticed that she is no read, no write, so she was encouraged to enroll, and she will now qualify to enroll after kindergarten. She will now qualify to enroll in grade 1. Congratulations, Remilin Dimla. Believe kami sa'yo. Okay, so that's all we have for the news in the front page, and like I always say, please read the Philippine Star online or buy yourself a physical copy, because there are a lot more news information in the inside pages and also columns written by yours truly and my fellow columnist, opinion writers in the Philippine Star. Maraming salamat po sa Philippine Star. Let's now head on to our interview. And let's do the introductions on the topic and our resource person. Gab, if you would, please roll out the Betamax.
In its efforts to mitigate climate and environmental risks in the financial system, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or BSP adopted the Sustainable Central Banking Program. In this program, the central bank implements a phased approach in promoting sustainability guidelines among financial institutions. These phases cover the roles of key officials and management in ensuring lower environmental and social risks when conducting their operations. How are the financial institutions complying with BSP's sustainability program? Let's find out on today's agenda.
Maria Cristina Ginbee Go is the Executive Vice President and Head of Consumer Banking of the Bank of the Philippine Islands. Before joining BPI, Go was Vice President at Citibank Philippines. Go is a member of the Management Association of the Philippines, Filipina CEO Circle, and Next Gen Organization of Women Corporate Directors.
Good morning, Ms. Ginbee. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, Cito. Nice to be back here as well.
Well, I hope you had a pleasant Father's Day celebration. Was it with your dad, husband, or was it by yourself?
Very simple celebration with my husband, Cito. It was nice and nice to really come together as one family.
Okay, well, I just encourage everyone out there. Please, appreciate that you have parents, you have spouses with you, because the weekend for me was a brutal reminder of how what that we should appreciate loved ones. Anyway, that's for another episode. But today, Ginbee, we are supposed to be discussing sustainability, and I have to be totally honest. You know, yours truly, ignorante. Ano ba yung sustainability in banking? What does it mean?
Well, sustainability, Cito, is really driven by the world's need to really be able to make sure that the future is bright for next generations, right? So that's why it's called sustainability. And for us specifically in banking, and the BSP has adopted the sustainability agenda. And so have we. In BPI, we have been on a sustainability track since 2008 with the view that we have a clear responsibility as banks in the financial services to promote sustainability in many different ways and support the United Nations, what you call SDG goals, Sustainability Development Goals. And on our part, one of the key sustainability goals would really be on eradicating poverty, promoting wellness through financial wellness, being able to support educational programs and entrepreneurship, greater financial inclusion. And that is how we are moving forward within the bank to encourage more people to get into the banking industry and be banked. During the pandemic, Cito, we had made a lot of inroads in terms of financial inclusion. Right, and prior to the pandemic, only about 1/4 of the population has been banked. But because of the pandemic, people were really forced to make financial transactions from their own homes to protect themselves. And therefore, you've got a lot of migration into the digital space. And now about close to 50% of the population, or if not a little bit more, is already banked. And these are aided by a lot of financial technology companies, whether that be the banks, the traditional banks, or even the fintechs like GCash and Maya. So that's
Okay.
how we support sustainability.
Yeah, Ginbee, I find that a very interesting point, because Agenda is one of those programs where we have been pushing for getting everyone enrolled in banks, particularly students, because a lot of students, they need their place to put their baon, or some of them may be relocated to some university and they need a manner for transaction. But it has always been an issue of IDs, identification cards, banks asking for two IDs, etc. And I get into arguments that you won't believe. It's like, hello, dum-dum, two IDs. These are students. They're neither employees. And then you want a government ID, etc. So, but for BPI, how did you transition? How did you manage to get people enrolled? Because is it just the rich people who comprise your 50% population, or what?
Not at all, Cito. And you make a very good point on the requirement for an ID. And that's why we are working hand in hand with the government to make financial inclusion more and more possible. And with the support of the BSP and formerly with the NEDA, we now really have a better and easier way to make people banked. And now, we don't require two IDs, actually. That's a misnomer. We only require one government ID if you go to the branch. For students, we do have what you call Jumpstart, a deposit product, wherein you really just present your school ID if you're a student, 13 to 17 years old, which makes it easier for students to really open a bank account.
School ID or barangay ID, correct?
Yes, or barangay ID. That's already a government issued ID. So that's definitely accepted in branches. Through the app, Cito, recently we also allowed onboarding using the national or PhilSys ID. So that should make it easier for those who already have applied for a national ID. And I encourage more and more Filipinos to do so. It's easier to really be able to open a bank account. Aside from the usual IDs.
As they say in Tagalog, lalaki rin ako. Or lalaki rin sila. Let them be banked. Let them get on board, be enrolled in a bank, even if they're just putting their baon there or using the ATM services. Because, I just want to encourage, because, I came from a different bank that you guys bought. For the last 35 years, I have been with your facility, and that was the process. Dahan-dahan, you become an employee, you become this, you have a credit card, etc. Lalaki at lalaki ang mga bata na yan. Now, okay, but what about the minimum? Sorry, I'm going back to the basics, Ginbee, just for clarification. What about minimum deposits, sustaining balance? Because that's another challenge for people here in the barrio.
We do have a lot of products that are that make it affordable and accessible for more and more Filipinos. One is our GCash product called #MySaveUp, wherein the account opening is there's no account opening balance required. There's no minimum balance required. Also, if you want something easier, we have recently launched Vibe, which is our e-wallet version. And that also does not require a minimum maintaining balance or an account opening balance. So there are a lot of opportunities now for customers, Filipinos, to really open and be part of the banking population.
Okay, so at least the curse of the minimum balance and minimum deposit for opening accounts is a thing of the past, at least with BPI. Now, okay, going back to the sustainability. So when you say sustainability in banking, it is to make sure that in the future, the banking industry, the banks, etc., will not only exist but it will be relevant. So you are putting your own version of online, e-wallets. What did you call it, Ginbee?
Vibe, VYBE, Vibe.
BYB?
V, as in victory, Y, and BE, Vibe.
Vibe, okay.
Good vibes, but instead of I, Y. You can download that, Cito, in the App Store or in Google Play.
Okay. So it functions like an e-wallet. If I want to pay someone, I can use that paying. Now, is there interoperability with other e-wallet brands like GCash?
Yes, we promote and we support interbank operability, so they can transfer funds from one bank to the other.
Okay, because I would rather do things with the BPI platform than because that was an issue yesterday in one of the discussions. Ano ba itong mga apps na ito? You get 4 or 5 different greetings on Happy Father's Day from 4 to 5 different. You have Instagram, you have Viber, you have Messenger, message. And people were saying, dapat isa lang. So same thing with banking. Now you have interoperability.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And we recognize, Cito, that with interoperability, it's really going to support the BSP, the national the economic progress in terms of being able to make more and more Filipinos be part of the financial services industry, allow them to learn how to save and pay bills, and of course be able to support the sustainability, because with digitalization, we can go paperless, go digital. We don't need to produce manufactured trees and paper, meaning through trees. So I think it's really good that we're able to provide this option, digital option, for more Filipinos.
That's good that you mentioned that, Ginbee, because I know that in Europe, the concept of cash, yung perang papel, ladies and gentlemen, is slowly or almost fully implemented. People who have been traveling to Europe, like my wife and my daughter who lives there, have been sharing stories where it is such a challenge to find a place where you can pay with cash. Dati, cash is king. But now you either have an e-wallet, a debit card, or something, because they don't, I think 90% of the establishments don't take cash. What about in the Philippines? What are we doing to prepare BPI clients traveling abroad for that traumatic experience, and here in the Philippines in terms of sustainability?
Well, Cito, the card option, paying with a card, is really more pervasive globally, no? We do have the BPI credit cards that are accepted worldwide, wherever you go, and we have the lowest foreign exchange rate. So hindi mo na kailangan isipin how much forex rate you need to exchange for, because you're sure that with your BPI credit card, we have the lowest forex rate. Similarly, with our BPI debit cards, because it is MasterCard debit card, you can withdraw from any ATM abroad. So if there are certain countries you're going to and cash pa rin ang main mode of acceptance or currency for transportation, say taxi or trains, or buses, then clearly you can just do so through any of the MasterCard or Visa affiliated machines, ATM machines abroad. And we also have the lowest foreign exchange rate for debit cards.
Well, that's good to know. So as far as debit card, it's exchange rates, BPI has the lowest exchange rate. Do you actively work to sustain that, or is that just, if we get to see it, it will be. If we don't get to see it, it won't. Or you have a team that, teka, yung kalaban natin is competitive, let's drop it down.
Yes. Well, we always look and make sure that our customers get the best deals. Whether that comes in the exchange rate, interest rate, or rewards points, rewards that they can enjoy, promotions. We understand how important it is to provide value for money. Regardless of whatever sector you are in, kailangan we should be able to provide the best value for money. Not just in terms of rates, of course, but also in terms of service. And we are really working very hard to do so, and servicing our clients to the best ability, understanding their needs is one of the things that we are definitely very, very keen at. Customer centricity, customer obsession is part of our values within BPI.
Okay, so moving along, what other areas of concern or products does BPI roll out, or policies that is aimed towards sustainability of the business model. Ladies and gentlemen, yung sustainability po, hindi po ito yung agriculture, okay? This is the continuity to make sure that the business continues in the next 20, 30, or 50 years, and that the business is relevant, because there are many brands we still remember, but they no longer exist, particularly in food products, because the originator forgot, failed, or didn't bother to improve their business products. So, okay, so with BPI, Ginbee, what else are you targeting or working on?
You know, Cito, in BPI, sustainability is one of our very core strategies. And therefore, on the consumer banking space, digitalization is one of our core strategies. We want to be able to support environmental protection, reducing paper waste, reducing the use of paper. And that's why digitalization is important. We also want to promote greater financial inclusion. And we know that providing access to Filipinos all over the country, and we have 7,107 islands, it's very difficult if we will just simply rely on putting up branches, which are quite expensive. And therefore, digitalization will help us promote that. Also, recently, we have been expanding our agency banking partners. We now have a business model, as you were mentioning, Cito, on agency banking, wherein we partner with the likes of Lazada, the likes of Food Panda, so that we can be part of their store and enable access through them. We also have physical stores that we partner with, Uncle John's, Robinson Supermarket. So we do have a lot of physical partners as well, really expanding reach to more Filipinos for greater financial inclusion, aside from promoting environmental protection. Third is affordability, Cito. You did mention about being able to provide products that are more affordable. Aside from deposit products that we now have lower maintaining, if not no maintaining balance, and no opening account requirement balance, our investment funds also now require as little as 1,000 pesos to open an investment.
Investment fund?
Yes, Cito. So our BPI wealth team is hard at work to make sure that investing makes it is going to be easier. And so people can now have more options as to how they can manage their finances better.
Okay, because the argument, Ginbee, about putting money in the bank is that you're putting your money to sleep. Now, some people will argue, well, you put money in the bank to invest, how much will you get? 3%, maximum, not even 6%, etc. So when you say investment, that's kind of, an iffy situation. What is BPI's position, and what do you have to offer in terms of options or investments?
In fact, Cito, we also partnered with GCash to make G-Invest possible. And so if they just go through GCash and go to the G-Invest tile, they can already open an investment account. Within BPI, they just have to choose what kind of, or go through a risk profiling, as they say, and it's available online. If you're a conservative investor, you have funds. If you're starting out, which is most likely what it is for those who are just have 1,000 pesos in their account, they might want to just start out with a conservative fund. And we do have a number of conservative investment funds in the bank.
What we'll do, Ginbee, is we'll go for a quick break. When we return, I'd like for you to roll out those investment options, because there are people who want to go above or beyond, just using the BPI as their piggy bank. So please explain that. But for now, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
BPI continues its commitment to the country's sustainability efforts by retiring coal financing. Earlier this month, BPI's Chief Finance Officer and Chief Sustainability Officer Eric Luchanco noted that BPI has not financed any energy projects that utilize coal since 2018. He said BPI is more focused on funding renewable energy projects instead. What's next for BPI's efforts in meeting sustainability financing goals? Let's discuss that on today's agenda.
Okay, I think that's a nosebleed. So let's park that first. Can we just ask Ginbee? Ginbee, can you just quickly answer what are those investment options for bank clients? You were saying as little as 1,000, but that thing about coal plants and power plants, that's a gazillion million. So, mamaya na yun, parada muna natin yan. Yung investment packages or options in BPI.
Maraming options, Cito, and you're right. To some, it is a quite a challenge to really understand investments. But my recommendation to all those who are just starting out, as you're still learning, go for a conservative fund and look at the available funds. Some of the conservative funds include money market funds, wherein the underlying funds would really be more of deposits or government securities, and these are guaranteed returns. The underlying securities are guaranteed returns, but of course, because it is a money market fund, the fund's value go up and down depending on the timing, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to learn how that would impact your own finances, because if you're there just for a short term, Then there's a short-term fund. Money market is also good for short-term investments. Now,
And
as we learn,
all of that can be done through BPI.
yes, and also through our app, through our mobile app. And for those who would want to learn more, we actually have the basics of investing available in our bpi.com.ph, and they can learn through that and give a purview. Otherwise, you're very welcome to come to the branch, and our own branch personnel can help you through it and guide you through investing. Because that's
You know-
really what we're here for, trusted financial advice.
You know, I would suggest you host those Tupperware type of parties for your clients. So you invite them because, you know, people are really intimidated to go to the bank because, you know, they feel, hey, do I have enough money? May karapatan ba ako, etc. But if they're invited to a seminar kind of party situation, it's very relaxed and they can all ask. And, you know, the power of the group takes away the fear and the intimidation. And I, for one, would attend one of those events and want to learn about what you can do because by and large, most people think of banks as savings account, checking account, time deposit, and then maybe, you know, the 10-year term thing. I didn't know that you had all of this. And to my surprise, honestly, you know, I'm not afraid to be the ignoramus in the room. You know, I didn't realize that you guys even give out loans or funding for power plants, etc. Can you tell us about that thing, that humongous thing now?
Well, Cito, as mentioned earlier in that clip, we have been doing away with funding new coal plants because part of our sustainability is really to fund more of the renewable energy projects. And in fact, our portfolio now is over 40% of our of our funding or loans are now going into renewable energy rather than the traditional energies. Unlike in general, the portfolio of the country, only 20% is renewable. So imagine we're funding more and more of the renewable, and it's really a matter of time before the entire country will hopefully be able to really be on 100% renewable energy. If more and more banks will be able to fund renewable energy, and closely working with, of course, renewable companies such as AC Energy, and other companies out there who are into renewable, we are encouraged by the fact that sustainability will become more and more possible.
Okay, is this an alignment of interests or just, you know, to each his own? Because I know that there is one bank that for the longest time has been known to give out loans for hospitals. They give out 1 billion peso loans to local government units to put up hospitals. Now, BPI, you said 40% of your loans, your corporate loans are for renewable energy.
40% of the funding for energy industry.
Oh, for energy, I mean, is 40% is renewable. Now, is that really, you know, like just an alignment of the group of companies, or is there a reason? Because you may have heard me read the news today. The 6 dams have lowered water capacity, and I know for a fact that globally, water management is going to be the next big crisis of the world.
You're right, Cito. Water is another area that we would want to be able to support. We're looking into blue funding. So not just green, but also blue. And we're working with the World Bank and IFC as well to be able to understand how we can support better water management. So in the future, that's something that we can probably be able to talk more about.
Okay, so carrying on, so in terms of sustainability, the bank BPI is also aligning itself with the environmental friendly direction of business and the world. What other actions or plans does BPI have on the table for sustainability? Because okay, you have your consumer. You're the front runner in consumer banking. You're definitely opening up corridors for green investments. What else?
Well, we have already been moving a lot of we have been rationalizing our footprint, reducing carbon footprint as well. And therefore, part of the consumer bank's priorities is to rationalize the number of branches that we have.
Mhm.
And also, as we continue to renovate and reconstruct our branches and optimize, we are also cognizant of the need to be more efficient in terms of energy use, water use, even materials for construction. And that's why we already have 6 branches that are EDGE certified. So energy efficient branches. And as we renovate, we will continue to have more and more of our branches move towards becoming get EDGE certified. And we are the first in the country as well to have branches that are EDGE certified. And so we have 6 already. The other, aside from consumer bank and corporate bank, which we talked about earlier in terms of renewable energy funding, we also are supporting SMEs and SEMES. Through our Banco subsidiary, we are promoting self-employed micro entrepreneurship, and we are supporting them more and more. We now have over 300 Banco branches where our SEMES can ask for financial funding for their small businesses. We also have within BPI what you call the business banking group. And recently, we also launched our own business banking online loan platform, which makes it accessible for more SMEs to obtain or access credit. So that's
how easy is it, Ginbee, nowadays? Because back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, when I wanted to get into the business of tourism, real estate, the requirements were double collateral, big bank account, etc. And sabi ko, if I had double collateral and I had big bank account, I wouldn't even be in front of you. So what is it now? How has, especially for BPI?
We continue to, of course, make sure that our access to credit becomes easier and easier. We have provided options depending on the profile of our SMEs. We have what you call zero collateral loans for those who cannot put up collateral. We have for our existing depositors pre-qualified loans, business banking loans that are based on their deposit balances or even their regular credits. And so we also look at credit histories with other banks. One of the things that we definitely would want to encourage our SMEs to do is make sure that their business models are sustainable as well. So we look at where are the sources of business in terms of cash flow. So that's something that we encourage SMEs to really think through. Source of business, types of customers that they have, the ability to continue on an ongoing basis the business that they have.
So, in other words, you do have a practice of coaching your SME clients?
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the experience in America when the banks started bankrolling all of the farms, and they said, "Oh, no problem. If they turn over, or if they bottom out, we'll just take over the land, etc." And a few years down the road, all the banks had all the lands and they had no business. So they had to go back to the farmers and said, okay, we'll give you back your land and we will coach you on financial literacy, etc. So the farmers started to understand banking and the bankers understood farming. So they realized if we don't work together, we'll both be out of a business.
That's right, Cito. And that's why through BPI Foundation as well, we have a financial education program, FinEd, and we go to different parts of the country to be able to help different sectors. You said farmers. We also go through schools because we know that financial education and financial literacy is key to sustainability and financial and economic progress. So their growth, the growth of SMEs is also the source of growth of the economy and, of course, the bank. And if they go to the branch, our branch personnel, our banking personnel are only too happy to help them through the process and help them see how they can access funding.
Okay, what is our state of affairs as far as the eradicating or at least minimizing the 5-6 cash loan options of SMEs or mom and pop standalone business people?
Yes, that's why, Cito, we have Banco. That's our arm subsidiary, 100% wholly owned by BPI, that looks after the self-employed micro entrepreneurs so that they don't have to go to 5-6. And we now have over 300 branches that are in areas where a lot of SEMEs are in these areas. So
okay,
I think they should.
What is the outcome? Because I know that a lot of people are shocked, particularly in the areas of business and finance, when they will often tell me, Cito, Filipinos, they're very responsible. They don't like to, how do you call it? Be delinquent on their loans, payments. As far as Banco and assisting micro entrepreneurs, how has the experience been?
Very good, Cito. In fact, we believe as well that to be able to reach them, we have to be in the communities that they are in. So our experience in reaching out to them is exactly what you said. You have to be where the communities of the SEMEs are, so that anytime they can go to the Banco branch and ask how they can improve their finances. And this is supported as well by our digitalization efforts. When they go to the Banco branches, they also get to open a Banco app, which allows them to access as well digitally the loan, negosyo ko loan, and deposits, a pondo ko loan, a pondo ko deposits or savings. So
are you prohibited from setting up a Banco unit in every barangay, or having a resident in every barangay as the Banco officer? Because you said, it is when you are with the community where you make impact. Now, it's not a plugging, but I've seen, GCash, I've seen Palawan, etc. And I'm saying, how difficult is it? Di mo mag-appoint ka ng isang tao kada barangay para kahit na lib-lib na puok in the far-flung barangays, there's someone there and it's just a phone call away.
That's where really the ecosystem of stakeholders towards greater financial inclusion would come into play. That's why earlier I mentioned, Cito, we have agency banking. You mentioned Palawan. We have a partnership with Palawan. We have partnership with Uncle John's, the convenience store.
Yeah.
We have partnership with Lawson's. We have partnerships with Robinson Supermarket, and even.
But those are mostly in the cities, Ginbee.
Well, there are some in the barrios. Like we have Palawan partnership. Through Banco, we have LBC partnership through our app. We also have M. Luillier and Cebuana Luillier. So there are many ways and means. Of course, we're not yet fully reachable, and I think that's one of the things that definitely we still need to do, and that's why we couple that with the strategy on digitalization and agency banking, so that we can expand our presence and reach more Filipinos. Ang aspiration namin, Cito, ang lagi namin sinasabi with the agency banking rally or battle cry is really may BPI dito. So kahit saan dapat may BPI.
Yeah, that's what we all need. That's I think what we all want, because I mean it's interesting that a sari-sari store is a GCash outlet. So I'm just saying, hey, can't we level up? Hindi yung meron lang naglagay ng 4 na pirasong plywood, negosyo na. Okay, but anyway, Ginbee, before we run out of time, anything else you want to throw out here so that our viewers won't be left out?
Again, thank you, Cito, for this opportunity. June is the sustainability month for us. It's celebrating sustainability month within the Ayala Group, within BPI. And I just want to encourage our customers and your viewers to take part in the sustainability agenda of the entire world. Go digital, go paperless, and go and tell others how they can be an ambassador of sustainability. And what's in it for them? Because sustainability, as you mentioned, is really more conceptual for some. But what's in it for them? To me, it's simple: A, B, C, D. A, for accessibility. You can access your financial your money anytime, anywhere through digitalization. We can promote a better Philippines and a better world because we go paperless for future generations. Now you have the capability to better manage your money and achieve financial wellness, achieve those dreams of yours for your family. And lastly, D, do more, because you can save time and focus on what really matters, including family.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ginbee Go, Vice President for Consumer Banking of the Bank of the Philippine Islands. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Cito. God bless.
Okay, and now let's go to our closing prayer for this week. It comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verses 15 to 16. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. That is the promise of God Almighty to those of you who believe God, honor God, and call on God. May your week be pleasant. May your family be blessed. And please include us in your prayers, especially Team Agenda. Thank you, and keep it here on One News.